Okay, singers, today is all about the world's most boring singing exercise. And you're probably thinking, is this chick crazy? And the answer is yes, but that's beside the point. So why am I telling you about a boring singing exercise? Well, because it is that good. This exercise that we're gonna do today, while it may be snoozy AF, is one of the most universally effective singing exercises that I have come across that helps singers become more advanced in their vocal abilities. Are you ready? In case you're new here, my name is Whitney Nichole, and I am a singer-songwriter, vocal coach, studio owner, and creator of the Singing Straw and Singing Straw Pro, which are revolutionary tools that help singers around the world develop healthier, stronger, and more balanced voices. And if you want to try it yourself, I'll put a link down below so that you can get yours. While you're there, please hit that like and subscribe button because we put out videos every week that help you do just that. So what is the world's most boring singing exercise? In my humble opinion, it is the messa di voce. Messa di what? Okay. So this is an exercise or a technique that has its origins in classical music, hence the Italian name messa di voce, which translated means placing the voice. So essentially, you're holding out the same note, getting louder and then getting quieter. And it is a lot harder than it sounds. Here's an example. Messa di voce can be helpful not only in classical, but also in contemporary and pop as well. And depending on what vowel you choose and what part of your range you're singing in, this exercise can be a little bit easier or way more challenging. But overall, it's a pretty advanced skill to develop. And the reason for that is because it requires balance. I like to think about it like walking on a vocal tightrope. We have to hold steady the same note, so the same fundamental frequency, with a consistent and even tone while dramatically increasing and then decreasing the volume and intensity. So ultimately, when you master this exercise, you will have so much more control throughout your voice. So let's try it. Go ahead, my higher voices can be here, my lower voices can be here. Choose your vowel. Ah is probably one of the more challenging ones if you want to go with something a little bit easier. Perhaps maybe try an oo or an e, depends on the voice though. Nice deep breath, start quietly and then crescendo and then bring it back down. Ready? How'd you do? Now, if you've never worked on this exercise before, you might run into some issues. So the first thing I want you to pay attention to is pitch. Okay, I don't want you raising your pitch as you increase volume, nor do I want you lowering or falling flat with your pitch as you decrease your volume. We want to separate that dynamic change from our fundamental frequency, from our pitch. A great way to do this is to focus on breath pressure and support as a source of the dynamic change. So go ahead and put your hand on your stomach, right here again. And if you're not quite sure about diaphragmatic breathing, I did do a video answering a question on this, so check it out over here. And again, just placing your hand on your stomach helps to bring more awareness to that nice low inhale and that core support as you're crescendoing and decrescendoing. I also want you to pay attention to onset. Onset is how you start your notes, specifically when there isn't a consonant involved, right? So I like to kind of think about this as a spectrum. You can start with a glottal, right? And that's where my vocal folds are closed as I start and they pop open and start to oscillate when I create sound. A little bit intense on the vocal folds. And the other side of that spectrum is a really breathy ha, right? It's almost like an H beginning to sound. So you have the vocal folds open, you're blowing air through, and then you start sound ha, right? You can hear the difference. Ha, right? And on a note, ha, right? So what we want to be doing, what I want you to be trying to focus on here is having a nice, balanced, gentle onset. So right in the middle of that spectrum, right? Not on that and not on the ha, but get rid of that H, get rid of that squeeze and find that middle sweet spot. Now, if you're not familiar with this, go ahead and practice for a little bit. This can take a little bit of time to develop, but just keep bringing that into your practice and that awareness, and it's gonna get easier. Now, we're gonna do our messa di voce with the straw, because hello, this is a singing straw channel, but also because straw phonation is gonna help us find that balance, right? This is the safety net beneath our vocal tightrope. So again, we're gonna take that same note, Pay attention to those things we talked about, right? Hand on your stomach, nice relaxed low inhale, steady breath. Start as quiet as you can on the straw, then crescendo, and then come back, okay? There you go. Now take it as far as you can go while still keeping it stable, and in time, you'll be able to go further with your crescendo. Let's try it again. And then we're gonna move around and get a little higher, and you should play around with this in your voice. You could take it chromatically, right? I told you, it's really exciting. You can hear my pitch waver a little bit there. It's tricky, I'm telling you. Now, it's not necessarily really important whether or not you have vibrato. I would say you're just looking for a sweet spot and ease. So if you tend to sing with more of a straight tone and you're straight toning through this, that's cool. If you tend to sing with more of a vibrato and you've got that going through, that's okay too. Just try to keep it steady and consistent. So once you've gone through your whole range with the straw, I want you to go ahead and try it on a vowel. We'll bring it back down to that G to start. This is a G4 and a G3, but again, feel free to go anywhere in your voice. And if it helps, start somewhere where it feels really easy and then work your way into the harder stuff. So I'm gonna demonstrate a couple of different vowel shapes here. We'll first start on an oo. Again, remembering that nice, balanced, middle of the road onset, not the glottal and not the H. And so we're gonna take an oo. And it's tricky, right? So as you move through that, try to keep it as steady as possible, paying attention to that breath. So let's go ahead and take it chromatically up. Right? Keep going, guys. Awesome. Really lean into that sound and then bring it back quietly. Very good. Couple more. Quiet. Nice job. Great. Now you can play around with that as much as you want. And to demonstrate how different the vowels can feel, let me move to an ah. Right? So you might find that certain vowel shapes are easier or certain vowel shapes are harder. I really just encourage you to explore this. Remember, the more that you develop this skill, the more color and emotion and freedom you're gonna have in singing your songs. Awesome job, singers. So remember, if you're new to this and you're really unstable, that's okay. Just show up a little bit every day, use your straw, and keep practicing. And I promise in time, you're gonna get better, because this is one of those skills that once you have it, will just really liven up and wake up your songs and your performances. And it's incredible what it can do for your voice. I hope you had fun and that today wasn't too boring. But remember, sometimes you gotta do that boring stuff to get the goods. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button down below and let me know with a comment how you're doing with your voice. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for singing with me, and I hope to see you again here next week.